Alright boys, today we're going to be talking about who should have the final Knicks starting lineup spot, Josh Hart or Miles McBride. Now I want to talk about the strengths and the weaknesses for both of these players. Maybe I'm overreacting, maybe I'm not. I will be checking the comments to see what you guys think. But me personally, I actually might be convinced of McBride starting over Josh Hart. Because if you think about it, what is Hart's biggest weakness? He can't shoot the three ball. He was at 31% last regular season. He did get up to 37% in the playoffs, I'll give him that. But overall, you can tell that teams are going to leave Hart wide open and dare him to shoot. We saw early on, Brunson got double teamed, he kicked it out to Hart at the top of the key, and it clinked off the rim. However, Miles McBride has no issue whatsoever knocking down threes, whether he's wide open, stepping back, off of the dribble, it just doesn't matter. McBride, he's such a talented shooter, which is wild because the guy, when he came into the league, could not knock down any jump shots, and he kept getting better and better. And I think you can make the argument that the Knicks' most efficient shooter right now is actually Miles McBride. It's very close with Brunson, but I'm talking about he's an absolute sniper out there, and we know defensively what McBride gives the Knicks as well. Can create off the dribble too. McBride's a very, very talented player. There's a reason why the Knicks are not trading him, as I told you guys a couple of days ago. On the flip side, though, Josh Hart does a lot of things very well. Playmaking, rebounding, energy. He led the league last year in loose balls recovered. We know he's very clutch too, as we saw time and time again against the 76ers, for example, game 1. Hart in game 6 against the Sixers knocks down that winning shot. I mean, Hart, he's just a perfect fit, if you think about it, to surrounding the Knicks with Brunson and Bridges and Anunoby, because defensively he can guard multiple positions, he rebounds, he pushes the pace. The Knicks were 30th in terms of pushing the pace tempo last season, which is something that they need to improve on. We didn't get to see that in the preseason game. They looked just as slow as they were last year. And of course, the Knicks were still top 10 in offensive efficiency because of their rebounding and knocking down three balls, but they just move very slowly. So I think Hart will help speed us up if he's in the starting lineup full time. Do I think Miles McBride is a better overall player than Josh Hart? If I'm being honest, I really do, and I don't want to make this a video who's better because they're both on our team and I love the both of them. They're some of my favorite players in this roster. I do think McBride legitimately offers the Knicks more than Hart, because if he's wide open, you're in trouble if you're the defense. Defensively, he can attack the basket. I mean, he averaged 17 a game, guys, for us when he was starting last year. The only thing is that if we move McBride to our starting lineup, well, now all of a sudden, we're going to have to go to Cam Payne and Tyler Kolek, because think about it. Now, Josh Hart is a 3, he's a 4. McBride is a 1, a 2. So if we go with Hart, well, now we have at the 1, Cameron Payne. At the 2, Landry Shamet. We could go with Shamet and then Hart. Actually, I guess it wouldn't really matter, because we would go with Payne. We'd go with, at the 2 would be Shamet, and then at the 3, Hart. At the 4, Precious. At the 5, Erica Sims. But hold on a second here. That's not much spacing. Now all of a sudden we have 3 guys that aren't the best shooters. Well, Sims is non-existent from 3. Precious doesn't take a lot. And then Josh Hart, we know he's working on it. So we do have Shamet out there who would be a sniper. So that would kind of work. And then at the 1, we'd have Payne. Maybe we'd go with Kolek, who provides more shooting than Payne, more playmaking. Defensively is going to be the thing. I kind of like Kolek over Cameron Payne because there's just something special about Tyler Kolek. So I'm trying to talk my way through this, guys. I know I'm all over the place. Bear with me. I just thought of this video idea. Well, technically, I actually was watching Knicks Fan TV, and I was like, I kind of want to talk about this and see how I feel about it. I'm going to go watch his video after this because I don't want to let their opinion sway mine. But overall, I'm just looking at the Knicks right now, and we have to just wait and see how it goes, because I don't think there's a reason to not start Hart right now. He does make sense on paper to be playing with these guys because, yeah, he's not a shooter, he's not a scorer, but everyone else is. OG, 37, 38% three-point shooter. Cat, 41. Bridges, I don't know what he shoots, but he's obviously going to be over 37, 38. Like, he's going to be very efficient. One of the best corner three-point shooters in basketball. And then Jalen Brunson, about 40%. Nearly, went 50-40. Didn't have the 90 free throw, which would have been crazy. So I do think that Hart, he's going to give us what we need. Again, he's going to rebound, he's going to push the pace, he's going to play make, he's going to make everyone's jobs easier. And Hart is certainly going to be able to play make to all of these good scores. I think I like Hart starting at the 3. If he does shoot 31% from 3 the first 7 to 10 games, then I would consider going to McBride. I personally do like Josh Hart off of our bench, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, just as that spark, that energizer bunny. But he does fit better with the starters than Miles McBride. Like Brunson, McBride, that definitely can work, but I think McBride is better just to be the lead guard. Yeah, he's not known for his playmaking ability, but I just like putting the ball in McBride's hands and letting him go to work, and also putting it into a guy like a Kolek's hands next to him, or a campaign letting them play make, and then finding McBride wide open for a spot up three. So he can be on the ball, off the ball, it doesn't really matter. I just think the Knicks are definitely in a better situation to having McBride coming off of the bench, because he just does more than Hart. Because Hart can play, make, and rebound, but he's not going to be scoring, he's not going to be shooting. And McBride just, there really isn't a weakness for Miles McBride besides his playmaking, but he doesn't really need to play make, because we're going to have, I'd imagine, Campaign or Tyler Kolek, one of the two next to him. And he's going to have Jericho Sims that throw lobs to. Sims is going to get boards. Achua is the same thing. So I do think Achua and Sims is going to be good enough until Mitch comes back. Once we get Mitch back, then we'll go with Precious, Mitch, essentially the same thing, Shamit, McBride, and Tyler Kolek. To that point, when we're talking about December, January, I do think Campaign's going to be out of the rotation, if I'm being completely honest. I like the team right now. In terms of who's going to get that 14th roster spot, I do think it's going to go to Ariel Hukporti. It's going to be between him and Kevin McCullough Jr. Hukporti makes sense because he has size. I think we're good on the wing right now, and I'd rather just see McCullough down in the G League. And Hukporti just, again, guys, being a 6'11", 7 foot, he's a legit 7-footer. That's going to give us more versatility than a guy like a Kevin McCullough Jr., because we just have way too many guys on the wing right now. And yeah, Shamit's definitely a lock to make it. Be interesting to see what the Knicks do with a guy like a TJ Warren, and then also a guy like a Chuma Okeke. Be very, very interesting. I do think we're going to go with some of these younger guys, like Kolek's certainly making it, and then I think we'll go with Hukporti just because they're cheaper. But Hakeem Dadier is very cheap. I mean, we're talking about him, what was it, like 1.8 million or maybe even less. I mean, so if we keep him on the main roster, then that would be very beneficial for the Knicks having a little bit more flexibility. But I don't think we're going to do that. I think he's certainly, 18 years old, is going to go down in the G League. So, but overall, that's pretty much my thoughts on the video. I think we should stick with Josh Hart at the 3. I do think Miles McBride as our 6th man is the best case scenario, because a 6th man is so important in the NBA. Having the first guy off the bench that can come in and drop 15 to 20 on a good efficiency, and adding in defense as a bonus for playmaking. Just scoring is crazy. But Miles McBride, yeah, he's definitely too good to be coming off of the bench, but that's a benefit for the Knicks, right? I do think a guy like a Josh Hart is a bench player, but he just offers the Knicks what they need next to Cat, OG, Bridges, and Brunson. So that's pretty much my thoughts on the video. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. Should we just stick with Hart at the 3, or should we go with McBride and put him at the 2 and put Bridges at the 3? Tibbs has not said whether or not Hart is starting. He did start him in the preseason game, which shows that certainly he's leaning towards that. But in terms of McBride, I mean, for all we know, he could end up starting. Like, it would not be the biggest surprise, guys, especially after in that preseason game against the Charlotte Hornets, he goes out there and ends up going on a run, 12 points in 11 minutes, scores 22 and 8 of 18, 4 of 9 from 3. Guys, it's your boy Knicks Daily. Peace.